2024 marks 20 years in business here at ACE. Let's take a trip down memory lane.
At the beginning, it was just Joe and I, and then relatively quickly we brought on Melissa and Jeff Carr to help us out.
Jim was definitely always the brains behind the operation, and I felt fortunate to be included, in the beginning.
We shared a vision, and we had a passion to get it done. There was just a lot of high fives, a lot of firsts, a lot of, oh yeah, we did this,
I think back to ACE's first job number 1. We were installing ladder safety rails in manholes. I did kind of question a little bit, where does ACE go from here? But I trusted in Jim and Joe and in their vision.
Every job was, critical. Every decision was critical. Every purchase was critical to the company's success. And Joe and I both had everything pledged to the company. If it didn't work, we were going to lose everything.
It was getting down to where we didn't have any work, and we really needed to win a job or we might be going out of business. And I still remember this. It was job 19, the UOSA Carbon Storage Facilities job, but I was taking off the job in a little 8x32 trailer, and I literally started crying in the trailer because I was like, we ain't gonna make it. And luckily, we won that job, and we won another job 2 weeks later. That kind of carried us through that first year in business, and then we kind of took off from there.
It took time to develop, and we always knew that. That was part of the business plan is, that ramp-up period where you have to basically prove your experience and prove you do know what you're doing.
Coming out of college, I wanted to be a part of a company that really impacted our society, our environment, and talking to Jim and Joe at the career fair, it really sounded like they were invested in the work that they were doing. And as a young guy coming out of college, I wanted to have that impact too.
With it being such a small group, we became a close-knit group.
My favorite project at ACE was the Arlington upgrades project that we did as a subcontractor for Alberici. It was kind of the biggest project ACE had done at the time. Those are my favorite parts of ACE, is just working together with people to accomplish something and feeling accomplished.
It's been kind of neat to establish all the different traditions like Worksgiving and some of the sports team we play on and the summer picnic, but definitely my favorite's the holiday party.
Everyone gets together, they really cut loose, have fun, celebrate the success of the company.
The funny stories we tell, the joke awards that we give each other.
It's a lot of planning. It's like planning a wedding every year.
In our minds, we were flying high, but we just couldn't get work.
We had a couple of really tough years when we got into the recession, and the company profits basically went from positive to zero and then into the negative.
We had decided at one point that we wanted to try to expand into Pennsylvania, and we spent a whole year just bidding jobs up there, and we weren't getting it. We didn't get one job up there.
We were bidding more work than we'd ever bid before and getting less work than we'd ever gotten. And that was the hard part. We had built this team up and we wanted to keep it going, but they needed to have jobs to do. And there was a lot of pressure on us to win jobs, and we took some cheap jobs. We took some jobs that we lost money on, but we never actually ended up laying anybody off. We were able to keep everybody employed.
We had enough backlog to sustain us through those years, and we made it through it.
The market turned around and we started picking up jobs one by one, and it was step by step, and we got out of that period and definitely took off from there.
By 2014, we had learned a lot of lessons from the recession, but we had our team together and we were in a really good position to grow from there. So the lesson was, just always prepare yourself for the future, prepare yourself for the worst, and sometimes you just got to put your nose to the grindstone and work your way through it.
It's hard to project out when you're starting a venture like this. It's hard to say, well, this is where we'll be in 20 years, right? And it's amazing to see that every time we wrote the business plan and we rewrote it a couple years later, we outperformed all of our goals.
My most memorable project was in 2015 when we built the Greensboro wastewater treatment plant. That job also, we picked up some good talent. Greensboro also started a couple traditions here at ACE where we have the end of the job celebrations where we provide lunch and everything for the owners, engineers, and have everybody come down for a big ribbon cutting ceremony.
My favorite tradition is definitely Worksgiving, and I love how everyone always raves that the food is better than the food that they have on Thanksgiving Day.
I've developed a lot of my best relationships with ACE employees at those building community events. Those events just bring out such a level of camaraderie and teamwork.
ACE established the core values in 2016, and I think it just kind of framed who we are, and I think that it then allowed us to really look at who we want to be and how we're going to get there.
My growth over the last 20 years has been exponential. I've seen myself go from entry level to project engineer to project manager to senior manager, and now leading our business development efforts.
One of the things I enjoy most here at ACE is training people. There's many examples here at ACE where you start off as an entry-level position and you can become an owner here.
I started as a laborer and quickly climbed up through the ladders. I mean, they definitely want to keep you climbing inside the company if you want to do that, that's for sure.
Some of my favorite things about this industry is it's something different every day. Every project's different. There's new challenges around every corner. At the end of every project, it's always a celebration of all of our hard work and the teams that we've built the projects with.
2024, we have 8 projects that are over $25 million. We just won a nearly $50 million project, and that was kind of the vision when we first started the company, is to be doing those type of impactful projects.
Knowing where we started with, just Joe and I and working in my basement, working at night, to now seeing, this large company and all these incredibly talented individuals, and knowing that, now ACE has grown so much bigger than Joe or I.
ACE is now over 220 employees. The growth of the company has really exploded with, 5 different divisions now.
Our office now has 2 floors and so much more space.
I think what we've learned is that to get anywhere, you kind of have to have a vision and kind of know where you're going.
The ACE 2040 vision is our goal of becoming $1 billion a year company. I'm hopeful that we continue to grow as a company, we expand our territory and go throughout the United States. We started out by expanding to Southern Virginia and Richmond and Virginia Beach. We've also expanded to Western New York and the Buffalo region, looking to places like North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Nashville, Texas, and beyond.
2040, the sky's the limit.
The company's growth just means opportunities for the people that are willing to take it.
I think ACE will become one of the top wastewater treatment companies in the nation.
We're shooting for the stars.
It's all undiscovered country, but it's super exciting to think about.